Hey everybody, welcome to Physical Friday. Many times people are sending me emails asking me questions about fishing, but they also ask me a lot of questions about physical fitness. Many of these people have been in shape at one point in their life. They've gotten out of shape. They want to get back into shape so they can do more of the things that they love, more of the things that we talk about on this podcast: hunting, fishing, climbing mountains, doing stuff with your kids, being outside, being active, riding bikes, whatever. If you take care of your body will take care of itself. And you can do all of these things deep into your 70s, 80s, deep into them. You can do lots and lots of things. The human body is an amazing thing. And if you take care of it, it will take care of you. Sometimes, for whatever reason, work, family, stress, different situations, people get out of shape. You can totally turn that around. And I've seen it happen with the people that are in my group. I've seen it happen with people that I used to hunt and fish with. I've seen it happen with a lot of my friends. And when people are going down this path, there's some questions. One of the most frequently asked questions to me is, how do I do it? How do I go from being on the couch and create this new habit, this new kind of lifestyle? How do you do that? And make a big change in your life. So, for everybody, it's going to be different. But this is what I tend to tell people, that there are really three things that you need to think about. And one is consistency. That's the number one thing. So consistency can be thought of as, you're going to develop a new habit. You do not exercise right now and you want to start exercising. Okay, let's start with 1 day a week. So 1 day a week, you're going to go walking. Okay, great. Maintain consistency with that. Until you can do that for a couple of weeks, there's really not a reason to add on a whole bunch of other things. Develop that habit. Enjoy it. And then you will be able to start to add on other things. What I see happen to a lot of people is they get very interested in this and they really just go for it. And they burn out in a couple of weeks and they're right back to where they started because they got too sore, they got injured, it just wasn't fun, and they just kind of stop. It happens to the best of us. It's a very common thing. So what I suggest is come up with something that is very doable. 2 days a week, 3 days a week, whatever. Some people are, not as out of shape as others. Some people are way more motivated than others. Whatever. If it's 1 day a week, fine. If it's 3 days a week, fine. Make a plan and stick with it, though. Stick with it for a couple of weeks. It doesn't even matter at this point what you're doing, but you're going to say, I'm going to exercise for 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Okay. Put it on the calendar and do that for like a couple of weeks. Now you have the consistency down. And then from there, now you start to work on what I call accuracy. Okay. So let's just say that you're well, you could be walking, you could be doing CrossFit, you could be doing whatever. So the consistency is showing up the times that you're supposed to show up and doing that for an extended period of time. The accuracy comes in making sure that you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing correctly. So if you're doing CrossFit, you're doing, your squats are going down below parallel. You're doing all the movements correctly to your ability. You are really working on, touching your chest on the push-ups. You're doing the same amount that you were doing before, but you're making sure that you're not cheating the movement. You're making sure that you're doing it absolutely correctly. You're working on accuracy. If you're doing if you're just walking, great. You say that you want to walk 3 miles. Well, get some kind of a fitness tracker, whether that's your phone or an Apple Watch or something that tells you exactly how far you're going, and make sure that you're going exactly that. Then you start thinking about, okay, well, now I'm doing 3 days a week, 3 miles a day, and I know I'm doing 3 miles a day because I'm tracking it. And that's going to be great. Once you do that for a little while, or in the CrossFit or whatever style of working out that you're doing. Now you're paying attention to the details. You're doing the things right. You still haven't added any weight. You still haven't done any more. You're still kind of in the beginning stages. The third step, once that you've developed the consistency, then you've worked on the accuracy and you're starting to do the things correctly. Now you're going to work on the intensity. Okay. And this is where the real magic is. But you don't want to pour on the intensity too early, because too much intensity early often interferes with your consistency. And you don't want to pour on the intensity before you're doing the movements correctly. That's how you can get injured. That's how you can make a mistake. That's how you can do something that makes it not fun for you. So when you are consistent in the times that you're showing up and the times that you're doing what you're deciding to do, whether that's riding a bicycle or walking or doing CrossFit or whatever it is that you're doing, you're consistent. Now you're starting to think about, am I doing these things correctly? Could I improve my range of motion? Could I do these movements better? And now you've done that for a couple of weeks. Now it's time to pour on a little bit of intensity. And the intensity can come in any of these things that you're doing. Let's just say that your goal was to walk 3 miles 3 times a week. And so now what you've done is you've consistently showed up. Then you started to track it and you're actually walking the 3 miles. Then now you can pour on some intensity, because last time it took you, let's just say, you were walking 15-minute miles, 18-minute miles, or 20-minute miles. So 20-minute mile, you're walking a 20-minute mile. That's 20, 40, 60. So it took you an hour. Okay, so to put more intensity on that, could you do that in 50 minutes instead of an hour? Could you walk a little bit faster? In the CrossFit, could you put just a little bit more weight on the bar? In Orange Theory, could you get your heart rate up and keep it up a little longer? Get more of the splat points or whatever they call it. That's when you pour the intensity on, when you're sure you're doing the movements right and you're maintaining consistency. So consistency, accuracy, and then intensity. And when you hit the intensity part, that's when the magic happens. That's when you really start making gains. That's when you start making progress on your goals. It takes a while, takes some patience. But anyway, that's my advice. I've seen it work for a lot of people. And if you have any questions, send me an email, podcast@saltwaterexperience.com. And please go rate and review this podcast on iTunes. I'd appreciate it. Till next week, maintain that consistency, accuracy, then throw on the intensity. All right, see you.